It's gonna happen, love. Did somebody break your heart? You talk.
What are you doing? Okay na. Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday to you! Blow!
Hello everyone! Welcome again to Anna Flores Home University. This is for my students again. This is intended for my management reporting students because as you all know, I have already posted your midterm requirements several weeks ago, and now as I am browsing all your answers, I figured out that I need to update, do some lecturing jud sa inyo because I think it would be necessary. If you can recall, we are already done with the different types of reports. We already emphasized that every department, every offices, or every management level, it has its own ways of reporting. And again, I would like to emphasize that there's no all-around template of how to do a management report because it really depends again on your purpose, on your audience, on basically the objectives of why you are required to submit a particular report. Now, since you have an overview of the different types of reports, its purposes, saka ay mga qualities of a good report, now let's go to the second half of this course. Okay, if you can recall, the very purpose of having to do a management report is, and I'd like to start with discussing the strategic management process overview. Now, I hope that this will be an advantage for students who have already taken up the course or subject strategic management, because this will all be just about it. But for those who are not able to enroll yet the subject, I also did some lectures about strategic management process, so you might just want to go visit some of my videos about it so that you will get an overview about it, because this lecture will focus on management reporting, on business decisions management reporting. Okay, so we will also be talking about corporate and business strategies. And by the way, if you would like also to know more about corporate business strategies, I think I have a video on that uploaded sa akong YouTube na channel. So again, you might just want to visit and do some browsing. Let's go to management decisions. Now, as I have already emphasized, that it would really require managers or supervisors to make decisions for the office. Now, it could be business operating related decisions. It can be if you're part of the HR department, so you could be giving decisions on about human resource management, and if you're part of the marketing department, you'd be also making marketing management related business decisions, and so on and so forth. So if you're with IT, so the heads of the IT department would also make some business decisions about IT related. Just to have an overview of the strategic, what is strategic management. When we say strategic management, ng good class, no, it will really talk about strategic plans, strategic objectives, what are the strategies being used in the business. Okay, without it, dili maka-apply og strategic management ang usa ka business organization if wala sila yung mga strategies in the first place nga ginasunod. Drafting of that strategies, an organization needs to revisit its vision, mission, goals, and objectives. That's very common. And then after revisiting the VMGO, then here comes the internal and external assessments. And then here comes the strategy formulations and the setting of objectives. And then here comes the drafting of the action plans. What specific steps that should be undertaken together with the budget, the strategic planning process. Now, let's go to the organizational process. After, I'm just presenting to you, class, this process because para masabtan ninyo gyud kung asa dapita nga part ang management reporting na butang sa entire process sa usa ka organization. Now, the first part, I will just present it here. This is the organizational process. So, it really starts with actual kanang planning. Whether it's a strategic plan, it's a long-term plan, or it's just a one-year plan, or just a business plan, or is it just an operational plan? No? So, it really starts with planning, every organization. Now, after planning, so it doesn't end there because all those plans nga nahimo, it needs to be implemented. So, after the planning phase, here comes the implementation. Implementation of the programs developed out from the plans or execution of the action steps, no? Execution of the plans na naplanuhan sa usa ka organization. Okay, that's the execution part. And then after that phase, after that process, here comes the management reporting. Because assuming that the organization is already implementing all its plans, all its developed programs, isugod nag-execute. Now, after 1 month, after 2 months, after 3 months, or after a year, naayun na yung management reporting. Ang management reporting, it's really just reporting what has happened for the past few months, for the past few years in the organization, or for the past few weeks. Depende lang na siya. Usually, again, you already know that daghang pwedeng mahimong mga reports. So, depende if asa kang office na assigned, asa kang department na assigned. As ako, as I have told you several times na that in my industry practice, I've been part of the Human Resources Management Office. So, especially in training, employee relations. So, way back when I was still part of the industry, I also need to do some reports related to my job, related to training and employee relations. Okay, so here comes the management reporting. Now, all these reports, no, usually documented man gina siya, all these reports, this will then be used for business decisions. Okay? So, business decisions. Unsa man ang business decisions? So, should we continue executing these plans of actions? Should we stop? Or should we need to change our plans because it's not working or it's failing? So, along with having business decisions is a simultaneous assessment whether these decisions are good. Now, important that these decisions, business decisions, gikan na siya sa mga management reports na gipang submit from different departments, from different personnel. No? Usually, the ones who's in charge in making business decisions are those kanang naa sa mga organizational business decisions, mga managers, supervisors perhaps, or usually nasa top management level. But I'm not saying that if you are a rank and file, you won't have any decisions anymore. You won't have to make any decisions anymore because naagihapon na siya. When I was still a loan officer, so that's a rank and file position, I make decisions every day. I make decisions with whether to call this client, whether to make some follow-up, or whether to update the ledger right away or not, whether to make this report right away. Okay, so all those things really depend. Let's have for example, so having that introduced to you the organizational process from the planning, down to implementation, down to the management reporting, down to making decisions from those reports that are being submitted into the organization, and down to having assessments. And it's actually a cycle. It goes round and round and round, and that's how organization usually functions. That's how organization usually operate. For example, I'm part of the human resources department way back in the industry. So during our strategic plans, or during our business plans, whatever it is that our department is tasked to do, let's say for example, during the planning, we are targeting that we should be able to conduct or implement branch learning sessions. Okay, because before we crafted a program wherein it's actually our strategy, because what we did years before, we centralized our trainings. When we say we centralize our trainings, our head office or corporate office is in Dipolog City. So whenever there are trainings, especially for loan officers, for account officers, all account officers from different branches from all over Visayas and Mindanao, they would come to Dipolog City just to attend training. And after several years of implementing that, we noticed that it's really very, very costly. No? It's really very costly because with all the transportation, expense, meal allowances, and the accommodations, and not to mention, apart from the cost, financial cost, napay time, because pag mo-attend sila sa Dipolog nga mga trainings, mawala sila sa operation, sa branch. So that would also is a cost. Now, what we did is actually we want to minimize costs. So let's say for example, part of our strategic plan and our objective in HR department is to minimize training costs. So how can we do that? So we implemented a branch learning sessions. So what happens in a branch learning sessions? Of course, every branch of our office, every branch has a branch manager. So what we do is we envision that certain sessions or topics, certain trainings can just be done on a branch level. So that's what we call branch learning sessions, to be facilitated by branch managers. So what we did is, that's our plan. So the branch managers will have to do some series of learning sessions, especially sessions that are very much applicable on a branch level. But of course, dili jud namo malikayan nga naadyoy mga instances, mga big training programs that needs nga sa central office o sa Dipolog or corporate office namo gihimo. So but the thing is, with that strategy na minimize namo ang mga travels sa mga employees, because there are trainings, especially like customer service or 6S lang, that can be facilitated by our branch managers. So that's the plan. So when we implemented the plan, of course, we empower our branch managers. So that's why we equip them with trainers training and all sorts of trainings that would equip them to facilitate their own branch learning sessions. So that's how we implement. So from the strategic planning, so here comes the implementation. That's how we implement. And then after the implementation, of course, here comes the management reporting part on my part, because that's my responsibility. So what we did is we monitor, since our goal is to lower down our training costs. So at the end of the year, because we usually measure our cost annually. So at the end of the year, of course, I have monitoring quarterly and every quarter na ani, but our formal jud nga mga reporting to the top management would be annual. So at the end of the year, so i-total na mo kung pila jud ang actual nga training cost, transportation, meals, and whether to see if we are able to successfully implement our plans. So, with all those reports, murag baga-baga gina siya nga mga reports, training course nga amo ang ginasubmit to the top management. Now, speaking of making business decisions, through the reports that I made, training report, kanang training report na ako before contains mga cost yun na siya, pilay transportation, pilay accommodation, pilay meal allowances, pilay mga honorarium, pilay mga nagastos sa snacks, and all other miscellaneous expenses relating to a particular training. So, gi-consolidate na siya and then represent na siya of course, my immediate head, sa mo ang HR manager, and then later on, it will be presented to the top management. After the training report, here comes the business decision. So, I submitted my training report to the top management for them to decide whether to continue or not continue the branch learning session, di ba? Mauman to'y una nga kuan, so to conduct branch learning session. Now, if nakita po sa top management that, okay, na-minimize yun ay ang ato ang mga training costs, it's because of the branch learning session, and taking also into consideration the feedback from the employees, are they really learning or not? So, it's really a matter of then, again, making decisions. So, whether the employees are really learning out from the branch learning sessions, that's another report that I need to do. That's actually a training evaluation form of report. Okay, so a lot of things that a management report can do, it all boils down to really making sound business decisions, because the decisions are anchored on the experiences, hard experiences of the business. To give emphasis that management reporting is not a standalone process, or it's not a standalone task in an organization. If you can see, it's really connected. It's really connected or dependent into other departments, into other processes in the organization. So, when you do management reporting, it should really serve its purpose. And kamo po future students learning about this course, ang among pinaka-goal lang ninyo is for you to become ready when you go out to the real world, when you are now on your own starting to work. So I hope that I was able to impart with you unsa gid ang management reporting. How I wish I can give you all examples sa usa ka management report, but however that would be impossible. So that's why I'm encouraging you to do some researches, to be exposed with different types of reports so that mag-familiar mo. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so with that being said, this has been Ana Flor Adrias, your instructor for management reporting, and your instructor also in Ana Flor's Home University. Bye everyone, stay safe and healthy. Eat apple.